in coping with the stresses and difficulties transfer to civilian life. Our colors. I find this very important to brief this because I get a lot of marketing people telling me, well, you can't use these colors. And I'm like, why not? They're just not publicly pleasing. Well, every one of our colors means something. The purple teal you see in our logo is the National Suicide Awareness colors. Less than 1% of this nation puts on a uniform, but we make up over 20% of the suicides. That's a math problem I don't even want to try to figure out. The red is the blood spilled every day. We are losing to the demons, the nation's heroes, the ones that sacrificed and gave, to the rate of approximately 45 to 50 a day, when one is too many to lose. Black, we are in mourning to the ones that we lost today and the ones we're going to lose tomorrow. Gray is the mind of the veteran. Nations have trained us to go see and do things that no other human should ever have to do or see. But yet every nation has never figured out how to untrain us or us to unsee things. How do we do it? Well, we provide safe and secure places to help veterans get the help they deserve, with counseling, therapies, skill training, and much, much more. Whether it's for a day, a weekend, a month, all the way up to a year, at no cost to the veteran. We do believe teamwork makes the dream work. John 13:35 tells us, we will tell the world that we are of that kingdom when we work together. We work with and we invite other nonprofits and ministries to bring their programs to our mission. No organization can do it all alone. Today here in this meeting, we are going to be covering some of our service partners that are bringing their resources to our facilities, because they believe as we do, together everyone accomplishes more. Complete financial transparency. Our IRS Form 990 is available for review on our website, projectdiehard.org. You can request our monthly reports at request@projectdiehard.org. We're not hiding anything. If you ever see a miscellaneous line on one of our reports, let me know immediately, because I do not authorize them. You see these other big nonprofits with these big miscellaneous accounts. Well, where did that money go? No man, woman, person can serve two masters. That's why I believe, and I stand by it, that I will never take a salary, because if the leader of a nonprofit believes that what's in this, can they really concentrate on their mission? Once again, we work with the blessings that we receive. As I said, we started in 2018. We just got our feet under us in 2019, and then good old 2020 hit. We all remember what that was. We want to forget it, but it was there. during that time, we were blessed with 20 acres and a 10,000 square foot building that was donated to our mission. It is named the honor of Sergeant Courtney Rush of the United States Air Force from Aldo, Illinois. On January 3rd, 2012, she lost her fight with the demons and died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. This is the first facility with a minimum of one going into each state. As resources become available, and I'm going to beat this up again, we work with the blessings that we receive. Forward Operating Base Rush is located in McCamus, Illinois. When completed, it will be a beacon of light for veterans. It is located at 189 Haven Drive. It will provide all that our mission and God to offer at no cost to the veteran. All the resources, everything we're doing at our facilities, we believe that, hey, they need a safe, secure place. So at File Rush, we will be able to provide transitional housing for 12 single veterans and 2 veterans with their families. This is very important because since 2018, we are the only organization out there willing to take on that task of bringing a veteran in with their family for up to a year. There's a person missing from the screen today. That's our other ambassador, Victor, from Chicago. He's a veteran. He helps our mission immensely. He got involuntarily committed into a treatment program. I talk to him daily. He's doing okay. But every day he asks, how's my wife and children? If you go onto our website or social media, there is a GoFundMe out there to provide the necessary funding so they can pay rent and buy food right now. Because Forward Operating Base Rush is not operational. Everybody goes, you could stick more veterans into that building. Yes, we could. But we believe in quality over quantity. Here's an overview of what your $22 a month is supporting. I always mess that one up. All right, our funding sources. Because as you know, every mission takes funding. Grants. We do seek and apply for unrestricted grants, but grants are not a guarantee. Events. We seek events to attend, to share our mission. We sponsor events to give back to the community. We are currently running a veteran fellowship breakfast here in Paducah, Kentucky, the first Wednesday of every month at the IHOP restaurant, where veterans can come and get a free meal and fellowship with other veterans. Donations, goods and services for our operations. If you have a business, a product, or something that can benefit veterans, contact us. We will see if you're a good fit and we'll go from there. Individual and corporate patrons. An individual patron is that, an individual. We do ask for $20 a month. That's 72.89 cents a day. That's nothing. You give up one Frappuccino a week and you've covered that. That brings hope to a veteran and in turn saves a veteran's life. Our Club 22, these are restaurants in the area. We just brought on 2 more a couple months ago up in Chicago. So again, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and you'll hear all about those great organizations, great restaurants. They're great food, great people. And when you go in there on the 22nd of the month and you say, I want this, and Diehard sent me, a portion of your bill comes to this mission. Our annual Fill the Can Challenge has kicked off today, Memorial Day, and runs through July 4th. Because, look, your donation is our ammunition to fight this war on veteran suicide. We, in the past, have put out ammo cans in businesses. We didn't get to do that this year due to the lack of volunteers. But we will be doing it. And of course, merchandise sales. You can order cool t-shirts and coffee mugs and keychains and all that by visiting projectdiehard.org. How can you help? First and foremost, we ask for prayer. For our mission, we know it works. Share our mission. There is a person with the resources that doesn't want the fame, the fortune, the profit, and to help God's kingdom grow. Volunteer. Each one of you have a gift that could benefit this mission. Volunteer. Whether it's swinging a hammer, painting a wall, writing a newsletter, following up, becoming an ambassador like Kurt and Victor. Volunteer is all that. And of course, donate. Any amount helps, but we do ask for that $22 a month. We need 98 people as of today to do that, $22 a month. Because operating base rush has expenses. Electricity, water, insurance, trash, not counting the construction. That's just the basic running of the facility. Sharing our mission. These great organizations share our mission and resources. The Disability Channel is bringing skill training to our facilities. Lifestyle Fit 22, he should be on here shortly, but they're helping us with the gyms. 10th Mountain Recruiting, employment, down the leash service dogs, canine, the Veterans Ranch, equine therapy, and Hip Strong counseling. These are our resource partners. These believe that teamwork makes the dream work, and together, everyone accomplishes more. Our facility suppliers. These great companies supply our facilities at a free or reduced charge. That is Maxwell Soap, a veteran-owned company. When you go say and you order 4 bars of 4 that you order saying Project Diehard, a bar comes to our facility. That's a win-win. Hughes Market and Meat Processing. That's food. Eat health food. Food. Bad Bandit Rubs and Seasonings, another veteran-owned company. When you order his and you use the code PDH22, a portion comes to the mission. Third Day Coffee Seguin, another veteran-owned company. When you order there, use code PDH22, and for every 4 you order, we get a bag of coffee at our facilities. And Supply Solutions. They provide us with restaurants things for our kitchens. Our mission suppliers. These people product or program, but they support. Blue Dragon Creative Agency, websites, marketing, Mountain Up, Cap Company, our swag. Both those are veteran-owned companies. So when you frequent there and you buy there, you are supporting a veteran-owned company and Project Diehard. Sharing the credit. If you are a business and you want to save money on your credit card processing, reach out to us. We'll put you in contact. Because there is a fee that every credit card company pays that goes right to the bank that can legally come to a nonprofit organization. And then, of course, our ministry partners. Ember Flame, Michelle Daniel Faust. Great couple. Last year at Hope Star, through their intervention, 2 veteran marriages were saved. Praise God on that. Eagle Fire Enrichment. Again, Chris Tice, very motivational person, brother in the word. He takes the time to talk to veterans when they need to be talked to. He answers questions to the veterans that have found Christ and are walking their walk. Global Vision Bible Church, Pastor Greg Locke, him and his flock pray for our mission. They share our mission. These are our ministry partners. If you know of a church or a missionary field that would fit into us, please refer them to us. We don't ask for any money from them or from our resource partners. All we ask is share our mission and pray. Our frequently asked questions. What will it cost to complete cloud brush? Some people on this screen can understand. It's been a while, but the old PowerPoint had all the graphs and the charts and the spreadsheets. you know what? I just found that confusing. So it's real simple. When you're doing God's work, does the cost really matter? It doesn't. If God can give his one son to forgive us all, what are you willing to give to save a veteran's life? When will fob rush be operative? When resources become available? With what you've learned so far, you must agree that it needed to be done yesterday. We already have a waiting list. In conclusion, only together can we bring hope to America's heroes. We work with the resources that we have. Every patron that supports this mission has the right to come and visit any facility and see where their funds are going. For more information, visit us at projectdiehard.org and contact@projectdiehard.org. Or you can reach out to Kurt or Victor, our ambassadors, and they can answer some questions. Thank you and God bless for your time and attention to this mission. We'll be sharing some other people's, but if you have a question, put it in the chat, send it up. I know we're streaming on a lot of social medias. That's where our great assistant Emily is backstage doing all that stuff. And she will let us know if somebody has a question or if anybody in this room has a question. Feel free to ask after we're done with the presentation. Kurt, I take it back to you.
All right, excellent. I tell you, every day on the mission with Project Diehard is another enriching experience. That was quite the presentation. Again, well done, Brian. I enjoyed it and learned. I think we all learned from that. So, Brian, you're growing and giving us a deeper and deeper connection to what this mission is all about and empowering us to get closer, to get folks out there around the nation, around the world, plugging in and helping us get this done. So in terms of getting it done, here's a guy that likes to get her done. That's J.R. Smith at the Veterans Ranch. And we at Project Diehard, we give a lot of kudos and thanks to the commitment J.R. has had to our mission here at Project Diehard. So that shows how J.R. and the Veterans Ranch and everybody around him, we just want to get it done. It doesn't matter if it's on the Veterans Ranch side or the Project Diehard side. We're just here to help veterans. So JR, come forward, tell us all about your story, the Veterans Ranch, and let's see what we can get from you in 10 minutes. Take it away, JR.
Well, absolutely. Appreciate you all having me in here today. Proud to be part of the partnership, the greater partnership here of these two, ours and Project Diehard's amazing organization. Look forward to doing great things together in the future. I am J.R. Smith, Vice President, co-founder of the Veterans Ranch. As Brian said, equine therapy. What equine therapy? Well, it's simple. We're going to get you playing with horses, put a grooming brush in your hand, get you to build a bond of trust with an animal inherently born not to trust anyone. Horses are pack animals and prey animals. Their flight is flight 99% of the time. They want to know two simple things. You're strong enough to be my leader, and are you going to hurt me? Well, when you build that bond of trust with that four-legged toddler, they will do amazing things for you and through you that you would never dream possible. We've had young men and women who were from the Bronx that have never, ever been around any animals in their life, didn't even have a dog as a pet, ride a Belgian. For everybody out there that doesn't know what a Belgian is, take a Budweiser Clydesdale, shrink it down just a little bit, and there's yourself a Belgian. Okay, sitting in his chair, y'all can't tell. I'm 6'4", 260. I was looking at Withers on this horse. Withers is their shoulder. So I'm eye to eye. This guy was 5'5" with boots on, looking at ribs. We ended up getting him on 2 trail rides and had him build a stronger bond of connection with his wife, who rode dressage for 20 years. He was active duty Air Force. She was medically retired Air Force. And bottom line is he was scared, didn't want to admit it. And by the end of the day, they were both hugging, crying, and to be honest, there weren't many dry on the area anyway. And, it was a great day. Brian came down last year and experienced one of our events we had in Lake Wales, Florida, where we had a horse, a round pen, and a training flag. Watched a young man spend an hour and a half with a beautiful white mare that looked like silver from the Lone Ranger. Have eventually come up and put her nose in the chest and have this man have a watershed moment, kind of cry like he was two. And, the things that occurred after that, the things he shared after that, were just amazing. It's therapeutic for us as it is for the ones we're serving. We say it's our pleasure to serve the ones that served us all. As Brian said, we quoted all the time, the 1%ers, the real 1%ers that raised their right hand and said, I'll go, send me, when all of us had the opportunity and for whatever reason didn't do it. And that's okay. We're not knocking anybody out. Patriot. I'm cowboy boots, never combat boots myself. My dad's a United States Navy Vietnam veteran from 1969 to 1970. Was in country 69, 70. So everything we talk about, we learn from the amazing veterans here in this call and everyone we speak to every day to help educate the civilian population on what their experience are going through and how they can help us help them. We just had an amazing 3 weeks in the great state of Texas. We are currently headquartered in Lakeland, Florida. For everyone that doesn't know where that is, it's a dot between Disney and Tampa on the I-4 corridor. Major announcement, we are in the process right now of relocating our headquarters to North Texas. We did everything from speak to Stephen Jones from the Dallas Cowboys. If everybody doesn't know, it's Jerry Jones' son. The greater city of Fort Worth, various veteran organizations did a roll call breakfast where actually they had 8 World War II veterans stand up and be acknowledged. Absolutely amazing 3 weeks. It felt like a day. I drove almost 4,000 miles in 3 weeks and loved every mile of it. By the way, DC in Texas than it is in Florida. So anyway, that does. We're looking forward to doing great things. We're going to put a barn and some horses on Project Diehard's property. Drop some of our people in there and provide the equine therapy necessary to bring in the full factors to assist veterans. Equine therapy is not the be-all, end-all. It's an amazing thing. But as y'all see, Brian putting together some great teams here to cover the full spectrum of what a veteran's going to need. Not every veteran has PTS. Not every veteran wants to kill themselves. That's kind of a thing out there being purported in the world today. But as Brian said, 45 to 50 a day. Come on, folks. That's 12, 15, 20,000 great Americans a year checking out off this planet that don't need to. For anybody out there that is struggling with anything, reach out to your battle buddies, call the hotline, get some help. You are needed. You are wanted. Somebody needs to know what you know. They need to learn what you've experienced in life. You need to stick around. You are important. You're valued. And we all want to meet you. Okay. Brian wants to meet you. I want to meet you. And we want to shake your hand. So that is definitely, you're worth sticking around. Okay. That's all we got to say on that. You can find out all of our information at the Veteran. It's real easy to find. Again, we are in Florida. We are still putting on events here right now. Florida's not going to go bye-bye. It's just we're moving the headquarters to Texas. We plan on having at least 8 different locations in the state that we own. And then through our affiliate ranch program, we'll have more beyond that. So, as Brian says, we all, to say nonprofits need money is like Captain Obvious coming dancing across the screen, but he's right on point. Grants, donations, whether you can give $10, $20, $200, $10,000, whatever you can give, every bit helps, and we treat everybody the same as Brian does, whether you give $1 or you write a check with a couple commas in it. we all put our pants on the same way, one leg at a time, and we treat you the same when it comes to donations. Again, thank everybody, for everything that you're supporting us, and we love reciprocating the help as well. Again, theveteransranch.org. I'll turn it back over. I don't know if that was 10 minutes, maybe a little less, but I will turn over my time and answer any question anybody might have.
All right, sounds good, JR. Thank you very much. And also for you, thanks for all the hard work and dedication to your board of directors and to your volunteers and everybody who touches the work of the Veterans Ranch, because we say here a win for the Veterans is also a win for Project Diehard. Again, we're all here teaming up, making the dream work that all veterans will be taken care of. So another gentleman that is just over the top.
Kurt,
Brian, come on in here.
No, Molly has her hand raised.
Yeah, I thought we were taking questions at the end, but Molly, go ahead.
All right. I'm sorry, JR. This is kind of subject, but is there many veterans with TBI?
Tons. Brian's son's
Actually,
one of them.
my son has a TBI.
Yeah, tons. There are so many more than ever reported. The VA's numbers of how many veterans are in a particular state are not reported accurately. For example, if you look at the VA's website, it says there's 1.6 million veterans in Texas. That's about 5 counties surrounding Dallas. There's 1.5 million. There's over 10 million veterans in Texas now. I'd venture to, without looking at the exact stats, you probably got at least 2% that have a TBI.
As I attended Shepherd Center, and it's in Atlanta, Georgia, and we have a program called Wounded Warriors, where all these veterans come and they all eat together and do their therapy together.
Yeah, no, it sounds like an amazing thing, and that's a lot of what Brian and I are going to be doing on the daily. Out of this one particular property, we're looking at it's about 44 acres. We'll have 12 to 20 horses on it, bare minimum. We'll be able to serve 5,000 to 10,000 veterans a year out of one location. So and doing things just like that. So that's what's going to be amazing, to bring all these organizations together and partner up as much as we can. And again, it's about saving lives, not who gets credit.
Okay.
JR.
Yes, ma'am.
Any reason for moving headquarters to Texas, or?
Don't want to discuss them on a live feed.
Oh, okay, I thought I just
Yeah. Texas, you got to go where the support is. The support's in Texas.
Okay.
God bless Texas. That's all I'm going to say.
There you go. Everything's big in Texas, including the support. Well done, Texas. All right, so we're going to go to a gentleman with a big heart, Zach Clayton. Wow. What a fortune we have to have introduced to this guy in Denver, Colorado market, and got introduced to his wonderful program, Community Pay It Forward. I think that says it all right there, and a wonderful ACT program, all come together. And I was in a conversation with him and said, what about putting a little P in front of ACT, and then you could have a podcast? And whoa, did he take that to the moon. 22-hour podcasting he's created, folks. So if you want to follow an example of what we're shooting for here, I would say Zach is kind of the exemplator, if there is such a word. But come on in here. Tell us more about Community Pay It Forward, your ACT program, PACT, and the PACT channel, and how you're in here supporting the Veterans Ranch and Project Diehard and everything with veterans. And then just being a community guy. Way to go, Zach.
Well, thank you guys very much. I do appreciate you guys inviting me to come on here and talk to you guys a little bit. You have to have a big heart when you got a big gut. It takes a bigger heart to keep the body going. So, that's kind of what I keep saying, is that if I didn't have the big heart, I wouldn't be able to move. So, yeah, my name is Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward. You can find us, all of our information at communitypayforward.us. We do a simple, it had to be a simple program, came from a simpleton. It had to be fairly easy. So what we do is we team with small to medium business owners all over the country. It doesn't matter where you are. Most of them do business wherever you are. So it's a great thing. But you call these business owners, you utilize their services, their great services, and you turn in a receipt to us, okay? And when you turn that receipt into us, 80%, at least 80% of whatever they send us as a referral award goes to wonderful organizations like the Veterans, or like Project Diehard and the Veterans Ranch, because we're here to support people who are doing good. It is our belief that, you know what, if we knew about all the good that was going on, there's none of us that would be in the situations that we find ourselves in with the negativity, and there is never ever a situation that together we can't work our way out. We've got a little bit of a program that all we do is we have these wonderful little QR codes, as you can see here. This is the QR code for our friends at Project Diehard. You simply scan this code. And when you scan this code, it shoots you a little form. And on that form, it says, find your giving partner. And all you got to do is you click on that, and whatever your to-do list is, we ask you to look there first. If somebody on that list can satisfy your needs, hire them, talk to them. They're first off, they're people. And the great thing about this is you're not talking to some kid who's making minimum wage and barely wants to be there. You're talking to the owners of these companies. You're talking to the people who have built those bridges to find their way to help communities, because that's what a small business does, a small to medium business does. But if they're able to perform the duties that you need, if they're able to satisfy your to-do list, you simply send us the receipt or the invoice on that form. That form is right. Everything you need is right there on that form. You attach that receipt or that invoice to that form. You put your name, put your email. If you would like to dedicate it to somebody, you can do that. But you put that on there, and then the great people at Project Diehard is going to receive. If we get $10, Project Diehard gets 8. We get $100 for a referral, Project Diehard gets 80. Okay, look, maybe pennies, but it's more than they had before. And the thing is that you, Mr. and Mrs. Consumer, don't have to spend an extra penny. We are not some of the bigger organizations that ask you, would you like to round up to the nearest dollar? No. All we need you to do is shop with our wonderful giving partners. They give up the money. They're not going to charge you more to do it. They simply want you to consider shopping with them rather than going against the community, to the big guys. Okay. I'd also like to shop or share this one. Mr. JR. This is his QR code because he is also one of our mission partners. Again, like Brian said, like Jared said, nobody can do this alone. Okay? It takes a village. It takes a heck of a lot more than a village most of the time. But the truth of the matter is that both of these gentlemen, everybody that you see right now on this screen, works very hard to support other people. And I'm going to tell you something. There are people out there join us and make this happen. Again, there's not a problem in the world that we cannot improve someone's situation simply by coming together. And I would like to thank Kurt very much for mentioning the PAC channel. The PAC channel is a podcasting channel that we are putting together. And this podcasting channel is for people who feel like they want to improve the world, improve someone's situation. Just this morning, Mr. Gibson was a guest of ours for a little bit. It is Memorial Day, and we are proud to be sitting here on Memorial Day because men and women through the history of time have had to deal with the same situations that Brian has. Brian lost sisters. Brian lost someone that he mentored from her very beginning, and he lost her. Every Monday morning at 11 Eastern, we run a program called Footprints Forward. And this comes from the 22-hour podcast where somewhere in this pea brain of mine, I came up with the saying that no matter how softly you walk, you're going to leave footprints. This is a statement that all of you who think that the world's going to be better off without you. This world is never going to be better off without you. You always leave a footprint. You always leave people behind. We want to find ways to support everyone who's contemplating suicide. This morning, Mr. Gibson came on as we were talking about how this day can be very tough for our veterans who, like Mr. Gibson, like JR has experienced, like Kurt has experienced. I'm pretty sure Molly and Emily, we've all experienced someone who has taken their own life. We want to find solutions to help them stay with us. It's a very program. We want to make sure that we have something for everyone there. So if you have any situation that you would like to share, if you have any program that you would like to share with us, please get a hold of me at Zach. Hey, my parents only gave me those letters because they knew I was going to be a moron. So it's ZAK at communitypayitforward.us. ZAK at communitypayitforward.us. Come on there and tell me. Let us know. Hey, run this program that can help people live. And join us on the PAC channels. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on the website. I always forget the website. But you can find our live shows right there.
CommunityPayItForward.us.
CommunityPayItForward.us. That's right. And you can also find us on LinkedIn, and you can find our shows at Zach. Once again, ZAK. Clayton Lion. You like to roar. Okay, I like to network. You know, it is what it is. So, but I want to thank everyone out there who has served our country. I want to thank everyone out there who has lost someone who has served our country. And like Brian said before, this program is so special because they do work with families. No one suffers alone, folks. No one suffers alone. So let's make sure we're taking care of each other. I simply ask you from us to remember, if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. No one has to go it alone when we all come together. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Zach. So in addition to the program, JR is ready to be sworn into office. Wait, JR.
Real quick, I just want to throw in there one thing, and I know I'm going to speak for everybody when I say this, is because it hit me as Zach was talking about it. One thing we were able to do in Texas was do a lot with the PBR with World Finals while we were out there. Opening Saturday night, we were very blessed to be able to honor not only a veteran but a gold star with the PBR's B Cowboy Award, and had about 15,000 people in Dickey's Arena stand and cheer for this woman. So when Zach said, everybody, this is a hard day for folks. It's especially hard, not only for veterans, but for Gold Star families. So that's all I want to throw in there is that let's remember the Gold Star families today as well, because this is an especially hard day for them. Not that any other day is easier, but this is a hard day.
Absolutely. So yeah, and
Kurt, we lost you. We lost your sound.
Okay, since Kurt is not there, he can do. Oh, now he's back. Okay.
all right, here I'm back. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move on to the Disability Channel, showcasing abilities television by and with people with disabilities and veterans. And Jay is someone out there. Well, he's in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So we're creating this as international business. Maury is cheering on as a Canadian. So this is great work, having a U.S. and Canada approach, collaborating, seeing on both sides of the border how this is done, and again, teaming up internationally. So Jay, you want to come on in here and tell us a little bit of the story of the channel and where you're going with veterans?
Can everybody hear me and see me?
Yep, you're
Okay.
seen and heard. You bet.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jay Stoyan, and I want to thank everybody for this opportunity. I want to thank everybody on this call for this service during this important day. Can't say enough about our love for veterans, our support for veterans, and our honor for veterans. So thank you for your service, for keeping us safe. Thank you so much. Again, I'm Jay Stoyan. Sorry, I have my puppy with me. She's just in my arms. I've seen her all day, so she wanted to come up. So again, so the Disability Channel is located here in Toronto, Canada, but we are across Canada, online, in pockets. We also work closely down in the States with Kurt and a few other events along with non-veterans. So our market in the States, we hope we had a bigger market, but we are trying to duplicate what we have here in Canada. And what we have here in Canada is employment programs in media for persons with disabilities. I have an illness, and also for veterans. So the VA has come a calling, and we create right now. We have a program running now, a 20-week program, and you learn all aspects from our facilitators and our certified programs through the Ontario government, which is financed by them, on how to transition from the battlefield or from assistance into our programs, gain a skill in media, either behind or in front of the camera as a talk show host like myself, or you could be a camera person, you could be a sound guy, you could be an editor, you could be a location manager, all different types of stuff regarding film and television. And then we get you either on our platform, or we also have, we're also on TV up here in Canada. We're right across on TV on Bell, which we like, I guess, Comcast down in the USA. I also have a radio show on Sirius XM, so we get to showcase success stories. And actually now, which is very exciting, which I would love the veterans in the USA to support this, is we can support you guys, is the Disability Channel has been sanctioned to produce the Invictus Games in 225 in BC. So we're going to be teaming up with a much larger production company, but we're going to have our, we get the keys, we're involved, we're in the game. So we're going to be sending, hopefully, a crew of veterans out there skilled in media to cover veterans at the Invictus Games. So they absolutely love that. And we would love to be able to bring our program down to the States, and I've done a pilot a few years back. It was very successful. And we have teamed up with a few veterans in the past. Unfortunately, things just did not pan out. But we're, the door is always open, but we need to get our programs in front of people who can finance them, which means the government, unless, you know, a philanthropist or an organization or a ball team, but that's not going to happen, right? It's got to be the government, and then we get to showcase it on television. So that's kind of what I do. I create all the programs, but I got a team that create all the programs. I'm more of the media side, so I handle all the television side of things. And we have full media accreditation. We're doing music, so we promote opportunity to our television shows, which we have a music show, we have a sports show, we have a car show, we have a socially served show. We have, I produce about 30 shows a month, television shows that go out to about 3.4 million strong through SiriusXM and other platforms. So basically, I'm the job creator at the Disney, get to showcase all the success stories in media. That's what I do. So I can open it up. We will, and the programs are free. Our programs are free. So if I can get more veterans, and I got to share this with you, and I'm sure you guys can attest, getting the VA or the Legions to support what we do is nearly impossible. Ask a veteran if he wants to join what we do. It's all hands up. It's the people at the top. The people at the top are making decisions without talking to the people on the ground. So sad and disgusted. I'm sorry, I'm just a little passionate, but it's like knocking on an empty door. They just email from the Legion today saying, oh, yeah, we're going to pass on your free programs for our veterans. You know what? Did you go around and ask every veteran in Canada if they didn't want to take our free program so they can transition and get a job? No. So we got to change that, guys. We got to change that. It's really sad.
All right, brother. I got to interject because I gave the whole brief, but right on Forward Operating Base Rush, there will be a television studio with a recording studio right next door, right in the admin building, where Jay and his team is those free programs to the United States. I mean, teamwork. This is how it works, people. They're doing their part. Help us do our part. We got to build the building. Sorry, back to you. I just had to let people know that, yeah, we're in it to win it with you, brother.
This is great because the more veterans I can get joining my, the Disability Channel Facebook page is probably the easiest thing to join. The more we bang on the doors together, because they just look at me, I'm not a veteran. So they look at me and just go, well, you're not even a veteran, it's so sad. So I'm going to call you guys. I need my brothers and sisters to help me so I can help you guys. I need you guys banging on that door with me. Hey, come on. Let's do this together. If that's okay. I guess that's kind of all I really wanted to. I'd love to get my programs down into the USA and duplicate what we're doing here in Canada. And we're moving forward. We have about 5 programs running right now. So we're moving forward and we are connecting with veterans, but I just wish it was, I don't know, a little more positive.
Well, brother, all good things take time. But with your help, streaming our Monday Mission podcast on the Disability Channel, we get the message out there. Everybody accomplishes more.
So why don't we do this? And I'm sure, I think Kurt already did this, but I would love to shoot Kurt my email if you guys have it and connect with every veteran on this platform one-on-one and see how the channel can immediately help you guys in whatever fashion. I don't know how that would be, but I would love to, if I can help you guys or get the word out or bring you guys on my SiriusXM radio show, or you introduce me to somebody that I can help them and help you guys, or you know what I mean? We can connect the dots. That would be wonderful.
Again, brother, Kurt is our ambassador. He deals with you. We will work on anything that grows each other's mission.
That's great, guys. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate this opportunity. And as things get rolling, I'll give you guys more updates. But the Invictus Games could be well, not could be, it's going to be a real great next step for all of us. That would
Okay.
be wonderful. That'd be wonderful, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Brian. Thanks everybody on here. We will talk soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jay.
Bye-bye now.
So,
Yeah, thanks, Jay.
yep.
Thank you,
If you
Alan.
did have time for Q&A after, that'd be great. But if you got to go, Jay.
Oh, no. I didn't think anybody had any questions for me.
Oh, no, we're going through all the presentations first, and then we're doing a Q&A.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got it split, but if you can, I'll definitely follow up. If anybody has any questions, I'll definitely answer if they can send me
Yeah,
some.
if anybody has any direct questions, Disability Channel, reach out to us, and we will make sure Jay gets them, and we will get an answer back to you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Have a
Sounds
good day.
good, Jay. Have a great day.
Thanks, Kurt. You too.
You bet. Happy Monday.
You too.
All
Bye.
right. All right. So now, with Project Diehard, we have a tremendous podcasting show, Monday Mission, which will be taking place in 3.5 hours with host Zeta from Zeta's Healthy Beginnings. And we've had a tremendous guest in Doug Berry. So we're going to recreate that a little bit in a little bit of a 5 to 10 minute synopsis. So Doug, would you do us the honor to come in here, tell us a bit of everything you're working on and how you tie into this veteran mission?
Yeah, sure. I'm a children's book author, so that's what I got going on. I am donating 10% royalty check to the Project Diehard. It's probably not going to turn out to be a large sum of money, but it's what I can do. So I'm with you guys, and I will get a copy of each one of my books coming up. This is one of them anyway. To the library. They're on the kitchen table. I'll give them more for you. Yeah, I don't know what else you really need from me. A little background. I mean, I was in the Air Force for 20 years, weapons loader. As me and Brian were talking the other day, loaded the A-10. Maintained that weapon system and did some work on the F-16 as well. Yeah.
All right. So, well, Doug, since your part in here is ultra simple, and so yeah, whatever we can do to help distribution of the book. I'm picturing this book being available for families, at the forward operating base, and so on and so forth. But Doug, maybe you can help us, from your perspective with Project Diehard, the mission, spreading hope to veterans, and with this issue of veteran suicide in terms of what you see other places, and then you see the particular look we're taking here at Project Diehard. Any commentary in terms of how you're fond of the mission and how we're going about it at Project Diehard?
No, but me and Brian were talking. I often had in the back of my head the same thing you guys are doing. It's like I keep hearing all these homeless vets and everything. It's like, man, I wish I could just, I wish I was a millionaire, because it's like, if we could just get a large acreage and get like a big middle and put like tiny houses around and get these guys, put some temporary housing so you can get on their feet. It just seemed like a no-brainer. It's like that would be perfect, and that's exactly what you guys are doing. So I just think it's awesome.
Very good. Thank you very much, Doug. I guess, Doug, to continue, you joined us, a little bit into the program. We have JR here from the Veterans Ranch. We have Zach Clayton from Community Pay It Forward. I'm trying to think. Did you catch sections of their program? This is basically the Q&A period, Doug. So I just wanted to see if we could take this chance to catch you up, and if you had anything about, hey, a little bit more about the Veterans Ranch, Jared, be happy to, respond to anything. And then Zach is here as well from Community Pay It Forward. We just want to make sure that, we're doing a good job making sure their programs are presented.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm kind of a newbie here. I just like my second time talking to you guys, and I haven't really got the chance to look into anything that those other folks are doing. So I really don't have any questions yet. I'm quite the kind of guy, you'll get to know me a little bit. I kind of sit in the background and just listen a lot, more than do a lot of talking.
JR, Zach, or Maury, do you have any questions for Doug or anything?
I don't remember hearing from Maury. I've never met Maury before. Can he give us a little about himself, please?
Yeah, this would be good, Zach. You'll like this in wave entrainment. You know, Zach, I think it's something for you, personally, Zach. So, but Maury, come on in here. Tell us a little bit about what we hear from you, and we're networking at the Happy Neighbor Project, and just because of who you are and what you've done in your life. And you are muted, Maury. So, yeah, if you can come unmuted and please share more. We're interested.
Sure. Well, thank you, guys. I think what everybody's doing is very important. And, especially since most of the people who are dealing with these psychological issues are dealing with them not because they chose to, but because they felt compelled to. If they don't, who will, kind of thing. Makes it even sadder, the story, as I'm concerned. I personally, I'm a Canadian. I've never served in any military operations or in the military in Canada. But that being said, I spent the first 40 years of my life wanting to be dead. And I hated you. I don't know you, but I hated you because I hated everyone. I hated myself. I hated the world. I used to wake up every single morning. I would look out the window and hope I would see mushroom clouds because that would mean I didn't have to live another day. I tried to kill myself at least 6 times that I remember. I've injured myself multiple thousands of times. But the thing is, if you want to die, it's pretty easy to do it. And the fact that I tried 6 times and nothing happened meant that I didn't really want to do it. When I realized I couldn't find a way to die, I had to find a way to live. And that's kind of what got me started on trying to understand the dynamics behind what was making me feel the way I was feeling. And I realized that my brain was the primary culprit. I found that neurochemistry, the chemicals, endorphins, hormones, neurotransmitters, that our neurons, which our brain cells create, are actually responsible for our experience in life. So just like with a computer or a smartphone, when you open up an app or a computer program and you see what's on the screen, that's a result or a function of a bunch of zeros and ones. In our lives, that doesn't work with zeros and ones. It works with chemistry. So our brains create chemicals, and that soup, if you will, creates our experience and how we cope with it. That explains why some people cope much better than others. Some people seem to be really not involved or not affected, and other people seem overly so. We're all different. We all react differently. We create different brainwaves, which creates different history, and that creates a different experience. That being said, I realized that I needed to do something to change how I felt because I couldn't go through the rest of my life feeling the way I did. That's when I came across this technology called brainwave entrainment. Now, entrainment is kind of like when you're listening to music you like and you're bopping your head and you're tapping your feet without thinking about doing it. This happens automatically because your cells, your body is in training or following the music, the beat in the music. Well, what I do with brainwave entrainment, I use sound and sometimes visual stimulation to influence your neurons and make your neurons pulse at a specific rate. You may or may not know this, but most probably heard of things like gamma and beta and theta and delta and alpha. These are considered to be brainwave states, but what they really denote is your neuron pulses a minute electric impulse so many times a second. Depending on how many times a second it pulses, that's what gamma is or beta is. That's just a differentiator. It also dictates the kind of chemistry your neurons produce, and that involves and takes advantage of your stress, your anxiety levels, PTSD, depression, anxiety, sleep. Sleep is so important, to mental health. So what I do is I create systems using visuals, but primarily audio, that are very easy to use. They're MP3s. You download them to your phone, to an MP3 player, CD if you want. Put on an ordinary pair of stereo headphones. You close your eyes. You can even fall asleep while it's playing, and it makes no difference to the effectiveness. Your brain naturally will follow these frequencies, and those frequencies will naturally allow your brain to create chemistry that it needs in order to cope, in order to be better, in order to feel better. I went from someone who wanted to be dead forever to someone who wants to live forever. And it's entirely because of putting on headphones and having a nap, basically having a nap. It's amazing the difference in attitude and how I act and react to things. I've been doing this professionally. I've been doing my research for over 45 years, and my products have started to be available as of 2007, I believe, was my first. I have doctors and clinicians using my work now to treat Alzheimer's disease, stress anxiety disorders, PTSD, sleep, stress and anxiety. So it's all a matter of understanding how the brain works and that nothing just happens. I don't believe in miracles or magic. To me, they're just science that hasn't been explained. And as long as people like myself and you and everyone else is out there trying to understand why something happens, then we can take fear out of the equation. And when we take fear out of the equation, we're left with solutions that we can use that have a much better chance of working because people aren't paranoid. They're not scared anymore. And that's what I do. And that's why I'm here, actually. I've been trying to get my stuff in front of veterans in the United States and Canada for decades. And no one will listen to me. And no one gives me the time of day. And it's sad because in everything that happened with COVID and all the stress and the anxiety and the people losing their jobs and they can't afford this and they can't afford that, my work requires specialized equipment. An ordinary pair of stereo headphones, just $10 on Amazon. That's all they need. They probably have everything else they need already, which is basically a phone, something to play it on. It's a download. It can go anywhere on the planet in a matter of seconds. It's your brain that's the most important part to what I do. So because it's your brain, you tend to get what you need as opposed to me telling you what you need. My systems are designed to help you to help yourself. Because I think you're the only guru for yourself, and other people can have all the good intentions in the world, but they can't cure you. You have to do it yourself. And with brainwave entrainment, it makes it very easy. I went from 40 years of wanting to be dead to wanting to live forever. And all I did was headphones and close my eyes and lie down. That's all I did. So that's what I do. If anyone wants to discuss this further, I am more than happy. Kurt has already been discussing this. We'd be going with Kurt involved in this the whole way because this guy is a mover and a shaker. I can't imagine how he just does everything he does and how he motivates people the way he does. And I'm happy to be involved with Kurt and Emily. And if any of you see the potential value here in something that's inexpensive, the average price of my products is like $197, and you never get used to them. I'm using recordings that I used 30 years ago, and they still function perfectly well. The other thing is, I give away between 40 and 50,000 product every year. I have no problem increasing that for veterans who have no money and no way of affording this stuff.
We will sit down and get with Kurt. He will get you on my calendar, and we will sit down. We will have a discussion on how you and Project Diehard can work together to bring your products to our brothers and sisters.
Yeah, and I'm serious about sharing. This is not something that money is important. It feeds me, it feeds my wife, it pays my landlord, so he's kind of happy about money too. But I don't want anyone left behind under any condition. Unfortunately, we need people who understand that they're not getting something that is valueless. Because when people get something for free, sometimes they think that's what it's worth.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. And Maury, you and I've been on, HNP a bunch together, and it has been my fault for not getting you on my calendar sooner.
I was going to say something, but I thought better not to.
No, I'll own up. When it's on me, it's on. Yeah, I've been wanting to get you on board with this as well. So it, because it, pardon the pun, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer for your brain. Yeah, but definitely, yeah, we've been in more than enough meetings together. So let's figure out a big group call there.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, my work is so, I mean, it's basically you hear shh, blah, 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 and sometimes I talk. But it's so, you know, it's brilliant in its simplicity, not me being brilliant, just the information, the way it's presented to the brain, the way it takes advantage of natural processes in everybody's brain, even people with brain injury. Okay, and now I'm not a doctor, I can't make claims, but I can tell you that I have thousands of testimonials from people all over the world who can't believe how something that sounds so simple can be so effective. And again, you don't need expensive equipment. You don't even need expensive headphones. As a matter of fact, if you get noise canceling headphones, they're too good. Turn off the noise canceling. Everything that needs to be done to the sound I do before you get it. And I just want to, you know, when I tell my story of who I was, I feel like I'm lying to all of you. That's how different a person I am now. There's no reason in the world why people who have seen things that they can't unsee, which is probably the biggest reason why they have PTSD and they're having all these, you know, suicide ideation, because they can't live with the reality that the rest of us don't know about because, you know, we're virgins basically. You know, I've seen people in pain, but I've never seen anything like a war zone. I have an idea. My wife lived through a war zone. You know, I can't imagine how she did that. I don't imagine how you guys have done it or the people you associate do it. It's the kind of, you know, we're human beings. We're all part of the same of mankind or humankind. We need to take care of each other. We need to stop this being racist crap and this being jealous crap and this, oh, so-and-so has this and I don't have this. Woe is me garbage. You know, I honestly believe that when we all stop being immature little babies and we get on and we learn to love each other and care of each other, I think all these is just going to disappear off the face of the earth because there'll be nothing to be reflected into our bodies anymore. You know, we need to take care of each other. We need to help you. And look, I don't have kids. If I'm leaving anything behind, it's this tech to help themselves. And I'm proud of that. And I'm a little tired of it being such a pain in the rear end trying to get people to listen and try it, you know, and see the benefits for themselves. Anyway, I'll get off my high horse now. Oh, by the way, speaking of horses, horses and dogs have been helped with my recordings as well.
Okay.
Interesting to keep the headphones on, but
Yeah,
I
wouldn't make them wear headphones though.
Yeah, JR, I'm going to ask you on that one. How do we put headphones on a horse?
We'll put a rubber strap underneath, put it under ears, and put a strap under.
Yeah. So anyone who wants to, I noticed Zach, you had mentioned something about being on a show. I'd love to be there. Just I'd like to do everything through Kurt because we have an organization. I want everything to be connected.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I was telling you guys before, you know, every Monday we've got a show about trying to find ways to help people who are considering suicide. And that's because, and I can't remember if I said this or not, so if I'm repeating myself, I'm very sorry here. But by the end of 2020, this last time when I did my 22-hour podcast, I came up with a number, or I found a number in my study. By the end of 2020, we lost one person every 11 seconds. That's
ridiculous.
Continue. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
I totally agree. Okay, any suicide is bad.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But as in my brief, less than 1% of us puts on a uniform but we make up over 20% of those suicides. That's disparaging right there.
Yeah. Oh, you know, and Brian, you and I, when we, you know, every time that you and I come on and we talk on the PAC channel, every time the JR comes on and we talk about that, you know, we talk 1% that sat there, you know, me, myself, I didn't want to cut my hair and I didn't want to get yelled at. So I got married instead.
Well, you did it anyway, see?
So, you know, yeah, that didn't work out too well for me. And now the hairline is no longer, well, it's a non-hairline or, you know, skullet going, but
You just lost a few rows on the front of the stadium. That's all.
Yeah.
so now it's just coming out the ears, you know, just put up but yeah, so, you know, but I understand. And the thing about it is, Brian, it's getting worse. The recruitment numbers are getting even worse, yet the numbers are going up.
Yeah, brother, you're talking to the choir here.
Oh, I know.
Okay, you're talking to, you know, you're talking to the choir. I get that email every Wednesday morning, right, of the numbers. And some weeks are better than others, but overall, this number is going up every day. Okay, this is why it's so important for people to understand that there are organizations out here, JR's one, me, right, that we're in it to win it. We're boots on the ground working. You don't see us taking $10 million vacations to Las Vegas. You don't see us wasting millions of dollars on stupid stuff. Yeah, it's just that. People got to understand, look, yes, we know there's 45,000, right? 45,000 veteran nonprofits out there. But really, how many are actually doing the work? I'll give you a point in question, and I won't name any names, but it's Memorial Day weekend, right? I made my rounds this morning when I hopped on your show, right? Here in the local area, there's 3 different, I want to say, shysters. I want to say snake oil peddlers. I know these nonprofits. They've approached us. And JR can attest, if you're going to work with us, that's a pretty hard thing to do, ain't it, brother?
Because we both, I'm sorry, 3 weeks in Texas, I had messages to answer at the same time. Yeah, we, well, and the reason why Brian and I get along is we're both on the same page of boots on the ground, moving forward. I drove 4,000 miles in the last 3 weeks, you know, to get those boots on the ground, to make those inroads and make things happen. Brian drives to Chicago from Paducah, Kentucky. Not a short drive. What, 5, 6 hours-ish?
About 6.5 hours. The point being is this. If you're going to come work with Project Diehard, you're getting looked at.
Yeah.
I'm going to do due diligence.
Yes, y'all, he didn't drive from Paducah, Kentucky to Lake Wales, Florida on a whim. I knew that. He didn't even have to tell me that because I'd have done the same thing.
Yeah. Before we said equine therapy is coming to our facilities and the Veterans Ranch, yeah, I went down to Florida. I went through one of his programs. I do that all the time. I don't wear the diehard stuff. I'm just a broke down veteran, but I will go through somebody's program before I step up and say, hi, remember you emailed me? We're not working together, or let's look at this. Because if you're not in it to win it, we don't want to waste time with you. Speaking of that, our host of the Monday Mission podcast. You're not hosting, you're telling the world about your mission, sister. Kurt, bring her on and let her roll.
Hi, Zeta.
Yeah, welcome, Zita. What a story with Zita. Emily and I talked to Zita about the work she's doing with Zita's Healthy Beginnings. Zita is a midwife and has a program for training doulas and, very dedicated to the birthing process, healthy babies, healthy mothers, healthy families. And, Emily and I talked to her about what about having a podcast. So a year and a half ago, she started the WOW podcast, The World of Women. And so here she is also hosting the Monday Mission and now coming in to tell us all about the work of Zita's Healthy Beginnings and the Community Hope Farm. And she's also involved with us at the Afro International Film Market and Festival. Take it away, Zita. Tell us more.
So, hi everyone, and happy Memorial Day. I know that everyone is having a good time, and that this is really wonderful to enjoy freedom that has been paid for by our brothers and sisters, especially those of them who are resting in the Lord right now. And you all know that we do a podcast for veterans, Project Diehard, which was initiated by Brian. And right now it's every 7:30 Eastern. And I am just here I'm the host. But right now I'm here, like Kat said, to just share with you guys a little bit about me and Zach. And I don't know whether J.R. Smith knows about me, but yeah. So as he said, I am a midwife and nurse. I am a founder of Zita's Healthy Beginnings, and our whole aim is to support women and children all over the United States as well as in Africa. We're in Nigeria right now. I do podcasts for the same reason. Invite people of like minds to really try and receive the kind of healthcare and innovation, technology has really taken, the better part, but it doesn't reflect in all our women and children. We still encounter unnecessary death for women and children, and especially the minority group among us, and that should not happen. And that's what we're doing through education, advocacy, and training of doulas, and making sure that people are being educated. Let them understand what it means, honestly, to take care of women and children. Because research has indicated that the health of any nation is being measured by the health of women and children in that nation. And we can't really deny that. And what it shows for America is not good. And what it shows for even Africa is nothing to write home about. So we are taking action through education, advocacy, training, and actually in Africa and here too, trying to build a healthcare facility that can really provide this needed care for women and children. So on that same lane, in Nigeria, we are doing more than that. We are planning to build a maternity hospital and also train workers, healthcare workers who do home visiting to see how these women and children are doing. And we have our community hope farm which has given the women the opportunity to plant organically the fruits and vegetables, plantains, bananas, and really we are so thankful for our donors who have really been generous enough to help us start that off the ground. And now we can really sell, we can share, we can gift some women and children that are really from poor homes. We can give them hope and support them through sharing the fruits that are coming from the farm. And we hope to also expand the farm. So our podcast, Zita's World of Women podcast with Zita's Healthy Beginnings, is educating women and children and other people, and we're inviting people to come and support us, in what we do, talking to women, talking to families, and making sure that they're getting the help that they need. So in a short, form, that's what I'm doing right now, and hopefully we can get like minds to support us and encourage us to keep doing what we're doing. Thank you so much, and over to you, Brian.
We got that button again. That good old mute. Now see, this is teamwork making the dream work. Zita advises me personally on family issues. Why? Because we are bringing families to our facilities. I can talk to the veteran all day long. When it comes to the wife and the kids, not so much. I'm honest about it. So I surround myself with smarter people when it comes to equine therapy. I send them to JR. Why? Because that's his lane. When it comes to businesses, I send them to Zach. Why? Because that's his name. Kurt, Emily, they do so much. Emily is so wonderful. For our podcast, for Zita's podcast, she sits there behind the scenes and does all that stuff. What a blessing to all of us. Again, this is teamwork making a dream work. If you're supporting just one of us, you're supporting all of us. Our piece of the pie are the facilities. Okay. And you own a house, you rent a house, there's bills that must be paid every month. As Maury said, the landlord, right? The electric bill, the water bill. But this is where your donation goes. It doesn't go to my wallet. It doesn't go to frivolous things. It goes to the mission. Currently at Fort Operating Base Rush, we have to complete one bathroom. One bathroom. We have all the materials, all donated by the Home Depot to us. But we need people that know drywall, concrete, plumbing to come help out. Let's complete this bathroom. Why? Because then we can get our occupancy permit so we can start a fellowship breakfast. That's the first thing we're kicking off there at Bob Rush, the fellowship breakfast, where veterans can come and meet and drink coffee and eat and fellowship and talk. And then as the resources start rolling and we get to do more, we get to bring more. I just can't stress this enough. I'm looking over here at social media and we have a question. It's one of the same questions I get all the time. So I'm going to pose this one to the group and see what you say to this person. The question is, I live in X, and I'm not going to call anybody out. Your facility is in Y. Why should I support you when I live here? So we'll start. I'm looking up here at the top, so I'm going to go across. Zach, you're first.
Yeah, I'm going to say this very simply, and then we're going to go and we're going to be live streaming the ceremony. So I have to jump off here, but there's a very simple reason why, Mr. and Mrs. Caller, because you can't get to number 2 until you finish number 1. You cannot get to a second location until the first one's built. That's just simply it. You cannot open 15 fogs at once, and especially not when you're doing everything you can just to get the first one built. So simply support, and the good will come your way. I mean, that's as easy as it is. That, you know what? And here's the other thing. They're not going to shut you out no matter where you live. If you get there, they're not going to shut you out. Look, there's always solutions to problems. That's the one thing that this show should show everyone. There's always solutions to problems. You just may need the advice of the next person, okay? We all run into a point where, you know what, somebody has already built a bridge over a problem. As soon as we can cross that bridge that they created, we're going to run into another problem. Maybe we come up with a creative thing. Then the next person follows behind. They can cross both bridges. They can create another path. Here before too long, it's a straight shot to a solution. So just work together, get the first one built, and then the next one can come to you. What I always tell people, Sturgis was a couple guys going on a road trip at one point in time. Look what it is today. This is why this is so important to support small. Okay? You can't start, you didn't get out, you didn't come out of the womb running. You came out not even be able, well, other than screaming and kicking, you weren't doing a whole lot. You had to build up to it. Nonprofits have to do the same thing. Can't do that without your support.
All right. Thank you, brother. Okay, JR, you're next.
Well, Brian, you and I have had numerous conversations about this. I'm glad someone asked, because we run across the same thing. Well, you're in Florida, you're moving to Texas. You guys up in Texas, I'm in Wisconsin. Fill in the blank of the city. With enough resource, number one, and first of all, I echo everything Zach said. I'll just ditto all that. But with enough resources, folks, we can fly you in. The location needs to happen, and then resources, everything else is easy. Plane tickets can be purchased or reimbursed. Gas receipts can be reimbursed. Without the resources, you can't do any of those things. I will not mention names of other organizations on here because none of us are here to tear down somebody else's house to build our own. But you or somebody else out there you may know may give to organizations you see running 10,000 different commercials with different celebrities, ones you know very well, country music singers, the whole 9 yards. They're based in Jacksonville, Florida, and New York City. They don't always have something right in your backyard of St. Louis, Denver, Portland, fill in the blank. But because they have the money, hundreds of millions of dollars of budgets apiece, the top 3 major organizations bring in about $3 billion a year. Yet because they have a celebrity on that TV commercial, you give to them. Now, maybe, again, I'm not here to bash celebrities or people that support those. Maybe they support, I hope they support those organizations if they're doing the commercials, okay? But it is truly, yeah, those organizations are doing some things. I'm not here to say they're not doing anything, but it's organizations like mine, Brian's, and every other small nonprofit across this sea to shining sea that's really getting stuff done. I'm getting kind of fired up about it, so I have to really edit my language. But, you know, what we're doing here on the daily, you're not hearing 5,000 to 10,000 veterans a year being served like what we can do and Brian can do. Okay, now maybe they are, I don't know, but all you see is this celebrity and that celebrity, $19, $11 a month, and so on and so forth.
Oh, well, look, brother, I can interject on that little point because, yeah, I've reached out.
We know who we're talking about.
Nashville is right down the street from me, literally down the street from me. I go down to Pastor Locke's church, which is literally a stone's throw from Nashville. $50,000 gets us a PSA for one of them country artists.
Mm-hmm.
So is their heart really in it, or is it, here's my money, act nice?
Yeah, and I get that. And look, all I'll say is this. Maybe that artist gives their time, but agents got to get paid. It gets into the politics of all of it. Everybody else has got their hand out. Okay, the country artist, everybody knows I'm talking about, donates more time back than they could ever pay him. But agents, roadies, everybody's got their hand out, got to get paid. Get it? But bottom line is, folks, and I've preached this, we've been doing this for 5.5 years, okay? You know, and same with Brian. It does not take a celebrity to make an organization work. Okay, all we need, me, Brian, and all small nonprofits out there, whether it's in the veteran space, kids space, special needs space, is a lot and a little. That $22 a month you give to them, or whatever, $15, $22 a month to us, you're talking $180 a year. I'll bluntly say it this way: we piss away more on fast food, beer, cigars, whatever your vice might be. I was in a gas station in Texas, watched a guy drop $500 between beer, 2 or 3 cartons of cigarettes, and diesel. You think he's got a few extra dollars to give to an organization like ours? But if he doesn't know it exists, he doesn't know to give. And that's why we're here today doing everything we're doing to spread everybody's message about moving all this forward. But to recap with this, it doesn't matter where we are. Again, Jacksonville, Florida, New York City. They're not in your backyard, okay? There's another big one in Nebraska. There's one that just moved from California to Nashville, moved their headquarters. Again, not saying names, do your own research, figure it out. Next to none of them are in your backyard. But with enough resources, we can all get you from your backyard to ours. That's where I'll end.
Okay. Yeah. I know, Zeta, same thing with you, right? Yeah, everybody's got to work together. I can't stress this enough. Again, I get questions all the time, and I'm just going to premise it this way. If I knew the reason veterans died by suicide, we wouldn't be on this Zoom call today, because we wouldn't have this problem, and we wouldn't need to be working on it. That's a question that I get all the time. I'm not wasting your guys' time with it, because I know it's the same all the way around this room, that if we knew that answer, we'd all be fishing, because we wouldn't have this problem. All right, Kurt, you've been hopping in and out. That was the one major question I got. Other questions not directed at anybody but me. And I'll be honest, I understand I always say there's no such thing as a stupid question. But there are just some questions that aren't worth my time or energy to answer anymore. Because you're right, JR, for 5.5 years, 6 years, we've been pounding the pavement.
Yep.
All right, we got 10 minutes, so let's do a round robin. Final thoughts from everybody on, I don't know, pick a subject, Kurt.
pick a subject. Well, I guess here it's Veterans, or I'm sorry, it's Memorial Day, and you know, we're living in the legacy of those who have died for our freedom, and you know, we're trying to save veterans from passing away through suicide. So we're going to have our Monday mission, you know, coming up here in about 2.5 hours, and so I guess everybody can kind of state, you know, kind of what do we think we're going to do this week to help this mission. So what do you think about that, Brian? Does that sound like something? Keep it immediate. What are we doing this week to help the mission?
There you go. There you go. So this week to help the mission, we're doing the Monday Mission podcast. I'm on 4 different Zooms this week. I'm getting ready to head to Springfield, Illinois, and set up a table at a big veterans thing for 3 days. Please be praying for that because gas costs money, but we're going. That's what I'm doing for the mission this week. Again, I could always use some help. If you know how to write a newsletter, a blog, any of that stuff, please reach out. I need help. JR, what are you going to be doing for Diehard this week?
Woo! Man, I tell you what, we are following up on everything we did the last 3 weeks. Not ready to make a major announcement that's going to help you tremendously with building materials, but working on it. Let's just say it'll save you 60% on every building's energy cost. It doesn't catch on fire, and it builds like Legos, and they're only 52 pounds a piece. It's going to be some great stuff. Looking forward to, I got to kind of put my deal together, and then once my deal gets put together, your deal's next.
Well, I got it. It's called due diligence. You and I, we don't introduce people to people.
That's right. That's right. Yep. So that is what we were looking at next, and yeah, it's going to be huge.
Okay. Very good. Emily, what are you going to be doing Diehard this week?
Well, first of all, helping out with the podcast in 2.5 hours. And then if I get any posts about it. So if anybody out there is interested in coming on the show in 2.5 hours, that'd be lovely.
Again, Monday, projectdiehard.org. We'll sit there. I'll do my weekly brief. Zeke and I will have a talk, and if anybody has a question, we'll answer. If we have a guest, praise God. If we don't, the mission still goes on, right?
Right.
Okay. Kurt, what are you doing for Project Diehard this week?
Just see a brick wall.
That's about right. We got
he's a train.
We got a train.
He's moving the train forward. That's what he's doing.
Oh, there you go. There you go. So, Maury, that discussion we had was more for other nonprofits. If you have a product you sell, you become a mission supplier. Okay? You're not a nonprofit, but you have a product that helps veterans. So
Many, yes.
then yeah, we will just work out the nuts and bolts how to get you onto our podcast and help you grow. The only thing we ask in return is you help us grow. Okay? Fair, right?
Yeah.
Fair. So you might want to email Emily because it sounds like we got a spot tonight in 2.5 hours.
I actually don't have the time. I
Okay.
have appointments with clients. Sorry.
Okay.
No worries.
That's fine.
No worries.
No worries, but
Maury.
oh, so all right, hold on. Now Kurt's back. Okay. Kurt, answer the question. What are you doing today or this week?
Well, we're still looking for help clearing out 20 mattresses from
Nope.
out of Largo, Florida.
Nope.
And
We lost those. Yeah, we
You did
lost
what with
those.
them?
We lost those. I was going to do that update on the mission Monday. They had to be moved up this last weekend. They moved up the move out date. We lost those.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to do that. We do have a couple tickets anyway for the event in Orlando, Florida. That starts 2 days on Wednesday. So that's still an incentive out there for contributing $22 or more to the mission. So we'll be promoting that and with all of our podcasting shows, sharing the mission that way. I know we got the Monday mission later on, but I'm going to be putting on a water ski show. We're out here with the Memorial Day celebration, the Memorial Day event and our ski show here by the Pewaukee Lake Water Ski Club right now. Yeah, I'll be doing networking and involved in trying to think of my schedule.
No, it's okay, brother.
I'm mixing with everything I do. There you go.
You do great work. All right. On behalf of Project Diehard and everybody that was on the or is still on the screen, we say thank you. God bless for your time and attention today on the mission of Project Diehard. And we hope that you have seen the sincerity of this mission and find it worthy of your support. Because when you help us, you help the Veterans Ranch, the Zetas, Lifestyle 620. There's a whole many other people that you help. But with that, share this video. Tell everybody you know about us.
Okay.
Who muted me and why?
It was Google. Google didn't like the conversation, so it muted you.
Okay. All right, people. That being said, since Google didn't like my words, thank you for being here. Let us help us bring hope to veterans. Reach out if you have any questions to any organization you've seen here today, because teamwork makes the dream work, and together, everyone can accomplish more. And with that being said, have a blessed Memorial Day.